Alright, Shawn Andrich from Gamers with Jobs here, playing some Assassin's Creed Syndicate on the PS4. On my way over to visit Charles Dickens, as Assassin's Creed likes to do, throwing some famous names at you and kind of loosely making a guess at their personalities, loosely involving them in some way. I feel like the older games did a better job of you know, like with Leonardo da Vinci, tying the character to things that would kind of be relevant for them. I'm not sure exactly. You know, Charles Darwin's in this game. He's a bit more fun-loving than I kind of imagine him from his writings, but maybe I just don't know a lot about Charles Darwin. Alright, let's go down to the church. Come on, let it go. There you go.
You seem tired, friend. Everything all right?
There's always too much work to do.
Investigation entails a carriage. It's said to be covered with gold leaf, dazzling passers-by when the sun shines. Naturally, it's rumored to be haunted. Now let's see if we can find it.
The place has become a mess.
Wow. Seems a little obvious, but okay.
The Royal Mail coaches vanished when the post began to be transported by rail. Oh, I'd rather enjoy a sit down, but duty calls.
Okay, I'm not sure what that was about. What else we got?
That's curious.
That is curious. Uh-oh. Time to go. So this may be the purest definition of horsepower I've ever seen. Which I know sounds like a bad dad joke, but the horses in this game are exceptionally powerful and maneuverable and hold up really well to being slammed into buildings, poles, people. They're little furry tanks is what they are. Are horses furry? Maybe they're hairy.
Yes, you're safe. You don't have to worry anymore.
Oh, you saved me! That wretch would have forced me to marry him within the hour! I I must return home.
Come on, come on!
A lot of mentions of people, women specifically, obviously, you know, transactional discussions about marriage, being forced to marry, being the best person to marry.
Oh, his accomplices will surely murder you. We've not a moment to lose.
Of course!
Alright, well, we're all just gonna stop. That's fine. I just want to, like, chill out here for a second and, equal opportunity, men and women getting into the mix in the fighting for a change, which is nice. You and I are gonna have a problem here. Oh, hold on, time out, let me shoot. There we go. Okay. Am I dead? You got a clear shot of shit, buddy.
We've lost them. Thank you. You have been a great help.
Yeah, we definitely shook him.
Take me home.
Usually I'll shake a tail.
You have gone to a great deal of trouble for someone you don't even know. What is your name?
Evie Fry.
I don't see the chat at the moment because I don't like the way it blocks up the screen, but I'm going to log into the app shortly here so I can see the chat messages. Lots of smoke billowing out from buildings. When knowing what we know now about environmental health and everything else, it's pretty crazy seeing all these smokestacks everywhere in the middle of, like, residential areas.
There you are. Come on. Here now.
You have preserved my honor and saved my life. I am Elizabeth. Won't you climb down and sit beside me so that I might see your face?
Where is she?
What?
You look as though you're just about to collapse. What on earth has happened?
Just a dream. Or so I think.
That was mysterious. Okay, so let me just go to my chat. Okay, I think I've got the, no, I don't want to log out. Here we go. Chat. Alright, now I got the chat up. So I will see your chat messages. Hooray! Although I guess I can also, go and look at them here real quick. Sorry, just checking the old chat messages. Yes, this is the full version of the game. It came out just this past Friday. As usual, there's a lot of ruffians hanging around, talking tough. Yeah, finishing moves take a while sometimes, which is good and bad in its way. Okay, what do we got here? Cart escort sounds boring. Ooh, we could do could solve a mystery right now. This is actually one of my favorite new features in the new game here. It kind of reminds me of the whole Batman crime scene thing. Let's go do that. As usual, it's easy to get distracted, but we're going to stay focused on the prize. If you're OCD, it probably really bothers you I didn't go back and get that chest, but we're all going to get through this together. There's so many thugs and people who don't like you on the street. This whole, like, you know, become anonymous thing, like, they're not particularly paying attention to me at this point. But I can't kick off this new mission until these guys chill out. They're hazily baffled. They're still doing basically the same stuff they've always done, which is they're just they did a lot in the last couple games where this conceit that oh gosh, what's the name of the Animus people, the actual bad guys, you know, the name of the company for the bad guys, they actually have gone ahead and started making these games. And so the assassins are basically hacking their system and exploring these games for clues. So the justification is that you are part of the assassins. You're kind of an inside man, inside Abstergo. That's the name. I'm going to kill these guys because I want to get on with it. So you're an inside man in Abstergo, and so you use the Animus to do stuff for the assassins within Abstergo, and so the conceit is just that. But it's a very loose conceit. They don't really put you in modern times, especially in this game. It seems to be just a bunch of cutscenes so far. So they've really loosened their grip on that. I think they just sort of decided that the modern day stuff has never been particularly interesting. Although to some degree, I would say that maybe even the first Assassin's Creed, maybe they did the best job of creating this interesting mystery and keeping it kind of vague. I think since then they've really sort of botched the whole thing. There seems to be a desire for like a full-on modern day missions, but they just never really been able to get that going. So this is a whole series of side missions that is completely different from the rest of the game and clearly developed by a crew.
This is one that's most promising.
An important detective is missing. Skullduggery is surely afoot.
Solve it, and I'll write it up quick as you please.
So kind of a Sherlock Holmes riff here. You got this guy who he writes Penny Dreadfuls, little stories based on murders and crimes that happen in London. And the little boy is kind of Sherlock Holmes, I guess, except he's a child, which is kind of interesting. But you're basically the one who's solving these murders, so you come in here and you gotta figure out what's going on. So let's talk to this guy and see what's up.
He's a friend of mine. The whole station is out looking for him as we speak. Ironically, he came here on an investigation himself. Seems several people have gone missing in this part of town. We've had reports of missing people over the last few months. Detective Murphy is just the most recent and the only one who's anybody to speak of.
Oh, so the rest were just not fancy people like the detective, alright. So you see little purple things, little purple squares on the map. Those are just kind of investigation areas, so they give you a good sense of what places are relevant to the case.
Well, now,
Ugh.
I didn't ask about this.
Well, of course you haven't. You haven't talked to anybody yet. A lot of canned little sound bits in here that are a little annoying, but what are you gonna do?
I saw him going into the barber shop when I was on my way to work. In this kind of neighborhood, people come and go.
You don't look suspicious. Look like she's being attacked by bees or something. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by does everything echo. Are you picking up an echo somewhere?
An odd man indeed. He spent a fair amount of time in here, poking around.
No, it must just be the stream. There's no echo when you're talking to them.
Some people around town just seem to vanish. It is mysterious. George delivers that to us. It's amazing. The flowers just grow and grow.
They do have little collectibles still, some of which are more relevant than others. Oh, he has more to say.
Sweet boy. Constantly giving my assistant gifts, a jacket, a handbag, and so on.
George is my sweetheart. I think he plans to propose marriage soon. Maybe even today.
Yeah, this George sounds like a real nice guy. I'm sure there's nothing suspicious about him at all. So you can see they've got a little bit of a Sherlock Holmes thing when you go and do your Eagle Vision. Human Knuckle and George's manure deliveries. She's assistant to the florist. Diamond-shaped holes, gift from George. Let's see what else we got. Oh dear, okay. Well, we got the human knuckle and his manure is,
He was in here asking about missing people. Bought a meat pie, he did. Stayed and chatted for a few minutes, then headed off to the barber. I'm told that some people have gone missing, but I don't know anything about it.
creative meat with no label. The meat smells a little odd. It is unusual. Why does your meat smell so weird, Miss Moffat?
George delivers meat from the pies. Lovely lad. I pay on delivery. I believe he picks it up from a local butcher shop.
Well, this is getting creepy as shit. And a little obvious, perhaps, but let's see what we see. So here's some of my ruffians. Anybody in green, those are part of my syndicate. I can recruit them. I won't worry about it now, because this is just an investigation, but, yeah.
You mean the annoying bloke nosing around? I told him to sod off. I pride myself on the quality of the beef I sell. Somebody's selling cheap around here, though. My sales have dropped off.
Uh-oh.
George? I don't know no George.
Really? That's interesting. So, taking bets on whether or not George is abducting people and murdering them, creating meat pies with them. Very little shop of, well, maybe not little shop of horrors, but... Barber of Seville, that's what I was thinking of. Okay, so... we've gotten clues, but there's still more we can do. Where to next? Barber shop, I suppose. Or the leather shop, for that matter. Yeah. Oops. Don't mind me, just jump through your back window. Nothing to worry about.
He came in asking lots of questions. I believe I answered them to his satisfaction. I suppose there are a few people I haven't seen in a while.
Everybody's pretty cash about all these missing people in the neighborhood.
Why would you want to know about him? Stupid boy. He does deliver tan leather on occasion, but I really have very little to do with him.
This feels so obvious, it's almost too obvious. George delivers tanned leather, meat for meat pies, manure with knuckle bones in it. Like, come on. Actually, I should probably do my quick eagle vision here, make sure there's no clues that I'm missing. No. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, no, it's over there. Okay. On to the barbershop.
Yeah, I gave him a trim. He asked no-ending questions. When I cut his hair, I noticed a tattoo right at the base of his neck. A green Celtic cross it was. George was in here earlier, getting an haircut. He wanted to look nice for his girl. He's been seeing Joanna from the flower shop for some time now. Said he's finally saved up enough money to pop a question.
Uh-huh.
You're right. Several people have disappeared over the past months. Some of them were customers of mine.
Is nobody concerned about all the people disappearing? Barber's razors, okay.
I believe I should reinterrogate a suspect.
Yeah, no shit. How about this blood, buddy? For mean shift. But how does he get that much manure from his human victims? Well, it seems obvious he scares the shit out of them. But, you know, it's one way to do business.
I'm trying to quit drinking. Sometimes my hand shakes when I'm given a shave.
Jesus. I mean, not to get a shave from you, buddy. That's terrifying. You shave them near the steps? And then you leave the blood there? It's like an advertisement for your wonderful shaving services? Want to shave, Gov? Follow the smell of blood and terror. Begging children, staple of Victorian London, of course. Oh, we've unlocked a new investigation zone. It just looks like light, maybe. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, I can make an accusation now. Interesting, though. I don't see anything to actually pick up as a clue here, although we've got table. Okay, let's head upstairs. Random dudes, no big deal. Supplier gets most of the money. Okay. So is George not the supplier? Is George just an ignorant middleman? Right now they're laying it on pretty thick that George is doing all this. Uh-oh. A clue. Uh-oh. So, George was just killed. That doesn't seem good. Maybe it's not George after all. Uh-oh. Not George after all. Interesting. We got some footsteps here that lead right up to George's body. Coming from the window. Well, wouldn't you know it, I can climb out of windows. Let's see if there's any sign of anything down here. be. I don't know, actually. Don't see any additional footsteps leading to the butcher shop. Alright, so George is dead. Yeah, you're right. George is a nice guy. Everybody loves George. Alright. So the game tells you when you've collected all the clues, so you're not spending hours humping walls and looking for, trying to scrape out little things. So we've got blood splatter here, going all the way up to George's place. But you notice I can't talk to this guy any further. I've got to make an accusation. So what we can do now, we need to make an accusation. So go to our progression log, go to Dreadful Crimes, and you can kind of go through things in order. So, odd smelling meat, alright. Gets a good deal on it, go figure. Bad manure. Diamond-shaped holes. A jacket with diamond-shaped, decorated with diamond-shaped holes, in fact. Pale leather. Oh, remember the guy who had the tattoo? That had a Celtic tattoo? Okay, so the guy with the Celtic tattoo gets his hair cut, ends up with his skin as a leather bag. Gross. Barber's razors. Blood. Diamond-shaped hole again. So, diamond-shaped holes, punctures. Seems like the barber would be the one. What do you guys think? I think it's the barber. I think the barber did it. This diamond-shaped hole thing. What are these razors? Are they diamond-shaped? No, they're just razors. Not sure about this diamond-shaped holes thing they keep mentioning.
You're right. Several people have disappeared over the past months. Some of them were customers of mine.
Sweeney Todd, come on, is it this obvious?
Sometimes my hand shakes when I'm given a shave. George was in here earlier, getting an haircut. He wanted to look nice for his girl. He's been seeing Joanna from the flower shop for some time now. Said he's finally saved up enough money to pop a question.
So, the way the game works now is you can then go talk to everybody and you just choose who you want to accuse based on what you know. So, it seemed obvious it was George, but it's not George. We've got footprints leading to George's place. We've got a murder weapon. We've got a guy who kind of made himself look guilty by mentioning somebody with a Celtic cross on his body. Seems pretty obvious. Let's see how it goes.
All I did was give him an haircut. Nothing wrong with that.
Ah, too obvious. Wrong. Alright, so it's not the barber. So these diamond-shaped holes seem to be a pretty important clue. The question is, what are we missing? A leather worker, perhaps?
Why would you want to know about him? Stupid boy. He does deliver tan leather on occasion, but I really have very little to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
He came in asking lots of questions. I believe I answered them to his satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose there are a few people I haven't seen in a while.
I suppose. Maybe this guy. No, it's going to be somebody who I've talked to. It's not going to be some outside source. Although there are Jack the Ripper related related things in this game as well. I think there's actually going to be some Ripper themed DLC at some point. Maybe I should have come up here and looked. Let's have a look here. Scraps of leather. That's George's delivery. Oh man, it's this guy. I should have come up here. I totally missed this. See, the game told me I had enough to make an accusation, but obviously I hadn't searched thoroughly enough. Gotta be this guy. Weird shaped things. You son of a bitch.
He was coming too close to figuring out where all those people went. They got parceled out to the baker, the florist, and me.
You very cleverly puzzled that one out. A very unpleasant rhyme. Perfect for one of Mr. Raymond's penny dreadfuls.
Yikes. Ugh. Nasty. Glad I didn't eat one of those meat pies. And there you go. That's an Assassin's Creed Syndicate mystery solved. And there's little Sherlock. His name isn't Sherlock, but that's kind of his dude. So Easily Baffled asks, a lot of games that aren't based around solving mysteries like this in Batman really want you to solve the mystery because you need to beat the game, damn it. Then solving the mystery ends up feeling like picking up developers' breadcrumbs with very little room to play around. Are there any games with mysteries that are more interesting and open? In the video game realm, I feel like there aren't, because it is such a... it is kind of a flipping switches and zeros and ones and, you know, if then blank sort of solutions. But I would say one of the best mystery solving experiences I've had, bar none, is actually Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detectives, which is a board game technically, although there's no board. That game is just Sherlock Holmes mysteries, newspapers, and each mystery has its own book, and you can follow your own leads and clues and go and talk to different people, and then at the end you need to answer questions, and you don't know what the questions are going to be until you've decided you've solved the case. And the fewer steps you can take to solve the case, the more points you get, and you're kind of trying to do it as fast, because like at the end it'll tell you how quickly Sherlock solved it, and you can see how good you did compared to that. Consulting Detectives is really, really good, especially with a group. It's a lot of fun, so I would recommend you check that out. You really want to get into mysteries, and it's really fun as a group too. It's a great cooperative experience. And I'd be interested in the Sherlock Holmes video games. The latest ones seem like they might be pretty good too. So I'd be interested in checking that out someday. So that train over there is actually my train. That's the Syndicate's hideout. It's a mobile base basically. I'll see if I can go get onto it this way. Otherwise, I can always fast travel to it. And this grappling hook is awesome. It has completely changed the way you play Assassin's Creed. It's basically created a situation where you have an opportunity to just zip around, almost a little bit more limited than Spider-Man, but as you can see, like, not much more limited than Spider-Man. They really just decided to eschew being at all reasonable with what's possible and just said, you know what, screw it. You've been climbing things for 10 games now. Let's just go ahead and get on with it. So it's got this great sense of that. I also like that it's got free run up. Like you'll notice at the bottom right there where the controls are, it's got free run up and free run down. So if you're doing free run down, like you see here, if I'm hitting circle, I can't get up this wall. You need to press X, but when you do a free run down, what you can actually do is it just helps you get down things better, so you're not jumping off ledges when you're trying to go down. That keeps you moving a little faster. You know, L.A. Noire was decent. Mean Shift mentions L.A. Noire was decent. Found it pretty difficult to get the interrogation stuff right. I did too. In fact, that's what really drove me nuts about L.A. Noire was I would pick a dialogue option or sort of a mood option for dialogue, and then my character on the screen would do something radically different than what I had intended. And I found that really frustrating, annoying, and kind of arbitrary feeling because the guy never responded the way I was expecting him to in an interrogation. So it felt like a lot of guesswork, and when it worked, it was cool, but it was just way too random for me. Alright, so I want to go back to my base, so I'm just going to cut to the chase here. So here's my mobile base. You can always fast travel to it, so let's jump over there. I really like playing as Evie. That's the character here. She's a really well-realized character. The way she plays off with her twin brother is really neat too. And you can switch between her and her brother pretty much any time when you're between missions. They play very similarly. They do have their own separate skill trees, but they're very much almost identical. She's a little bit more stealth leaning. He's a little bit more combat. But they're both perfectly fine at both. You never feel like you need to be like playing as one or the other specifically for a mission. Although there are story missions where you do play as one or the other.
Nigel's in a spot of trouble.
Oh, is Nigel in some trouble? I'll show you the train here real quick. So here's my assassin's wall. This excuse me, I have still a bit of a cold. So instead of the whole DNA sequencing modern day thing, they keep it all inside the game. They really don't put you in modern times much at all, aside from cutscenes. So you can see I'm on sequence 4. They kind of measure this out by big mob bosses that you kill. That's how they structure the overall plot. So if I were to pick sequence 4, you can see what's active, where we're at in the story, and then you can see there's a little bit of a tie-in to Black Flag with Edward Kenway there and stuff. So here's the lady who takes care of my train. She's also got some missions for me if I want to do them. Nigel's a guy who's just joined my gang. He was following my conductor there for a while. He's a cool dude. Whoa! Alright. He's a ninja, apparently. Here's the front of my sweet train. Got some coal going back there. And the train actually moves through the city, you know, so you can just kind of chill out here with your foot up and watch it as it goes. And the train is always on the move, so you can always fast travel to it, but if it happens to be nearby, you're welcome to just run to your train and jump on. It's kind of a cool, organic kind of feeling to it. Here's my brother. Slouching around. It's funny because and there's this guy's a real estate kind of person. It's fun because I basically play as Evie the whole time. Your brother seems like a real lazy bastard because he just sits around for the most part.
Morning, Evie.
Morning. You can go and change your outfit and stuff there. Talk to this dude. Refill all my stuff. And you can also buy treasure maps. Beer tasting guide. Well, there you go. That sounds like something I would enjoy. Just mark stuff on your map where stuff is. You know, if you want to have that marked out, you can do that. So they have streamlined at least a little bit. They have at least streamlined a little bit some of the interface and some of the map chuff that lays around everywhere. Here's the skill screen. So you got your combat skills, you've got your stealth related skills, and then ecosystem skills is how they lay that out. Whoa, gonna reload automatically. That's interesting. So I've mostly kind of laid in her. I think this thing might mean you can only get one of them. He's likely to be detected. Assassinations don't make noise. Knife thrower are really good at stealth. Both those would be pretty good. Yeah, you don't reduce damage from falls might be nice. Those cost 4. Inflict less damage and don't slow you down as much. That could be useful later. I'll take that. So they do keep track of your level, and they will you know, like Evie's level 5. If I go and do a mission and there's a bunch of level 6 or 7 guys, it takes a lot longer to kill them. So they really do try and enforce that leveling a bit, which sort of naturally gates off some of your available things you can do. But let's go talk to my conductor and see what Nigel's up to.
So I said, look it, you can't doss here.
What? Do you know the mission now? What's the deal? I guess we can...
I encourage you to take part in all the amusements that our city affords.
Too many round things. But it's nice in it. It's almost respectable.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Where is... So, let's look at my filters real quick. Activities, memories. What's our next memory thing? Default. This is kind of everything. Bounty hunt. I'm level 5, and the train's on the way there, so let's do that.
We must have a sing-along one day.
Oh, the train's actually going away from there. Alright, let's get off this train then. Up. Jump. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. If you go up first. There we go. Birds flying in a V. That's nice. No, it's not good. Ooh, good thing I took that less falling damage thing. That could have been bad.
Come on, feast your eyes on these fabulous offers.
Wow, some things never change.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, you are. Give me that. I like being in London. You know, it's definitely got a different vibe than Paris in Assassin's Creed United did. I think I liked Paris more. The crowds were larger. Just Paris in general was more interesting to me. But I'd traveled to Paris recently, so I've got some personal ties to that as well, where I haven't been to London before. Okay. So let's get this mission wrapped up here and then we'll wrap it up. So there's my target. A lady. Bring back the target alive. Interesting. So we've got ourselves a kidnapping. Should be interesting. How are we going to do that? So there's, when you want to go into stealth mode, you just go into sneak mode and woof, there you go. Now we're real assassiny and shit. So we're going to see if we can kidnap this, there's our target we need to kidnap. Gotta be careful though. Okay, I'm going to switch over to knives here. Easiest way to kidnap somebody. No, she's not. Quiet.
I win this time.
Oh, jeez. Now my target's running away.
I win this time.
Oh, gotta get this done quick.
Hey! Let go of me! You of the police?
Quiet now. No need to make such a fuss, Miss Abramson.
Let me go.
We were perfectly fine until you came along.
Hey! Let go! Hey! Let me out of here!
Pardon me.
Easy, easy.
That's one way to make yourself anonymous. Ah, open world games. Sometimes you just kind of lose it, don't you? Nope, that's not what I want. There we go. Come on. Making me look bad. There we go.
Thank you kindly.
So there you go. That is a taste of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You can see now that I did that kidnapping mission, I've taken over another area, which makes these areas a little more pleasant for me to be in and a few less enemies around to get in my grill, so that's always nice. Thanks very much for joining me and playing on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm Shawn Andrich from Gamers with Jobs. Catch you next time.